YouTube decided I'm no longer allowed to use the music in my intro, so now, until I find another one, you're stuck with my voice.
What is up guys, this is Theo and special guest Nyhmnim, who is most likely going to be sat outside next to a tree.
How you doing, guys?
Well, what do you know? Today's video is going to be a collab video on the top 10 hand traps that we think in the game are best. So without further ado, straight over to Nyhmnim.
Drumroll Lockport is one of those cards where we've seen it recently get play from a set that was released a long time ago. And by recently, I mean like 2-3 formats ago? Still. Nevertheless, it's number 10. Originally released as a rare in Star Strike Blast, people didn't care about it. The artwork looked freaking amazing, so people might have collected it. They should have, it looked gorgeous. But the card was not relevant at the time, it didn't do too much, so the card was just considered a rare. Just a throwaway rare. However, we see one set Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy drop, Spellbook of Judgment be up in that bitch, and what deck comes out of that? Spellbooks as tier 0. Immediately looking for outs for this deck, people already levitated towards a Drumroll Lockport as their hand trap of choice for the side deck, being the fact that it could stop after that first secret search, or you know, the master copy or whatever. Your opponent would go Judgment Day, secrets, you drop that Drumroll Lockport, your opponent ain't gonna get shit from that Judgment Day at the end of the turn. You just made their best card in the deck do absolutely nothing. The fact that one set turned this one old ass rare card into a $10 side deck staple for that whole format is just phenomenal, and that's why Drumroll Lockport takes the number 10 spot.
Number 9 is, without further ado, Rainbow Kuriboh. One of the new cards that came out. He is very cool, level 1 secret rare. He was so pretty, and he was kind of, his claim to fame was Jeff Jones's article on him, because he said he liked it. And then everyone kind of assumed that was because it was a good card and not because it represented his homosexuality. Rainbow Kuriboh is quite a cool card that a lot of people have started teching in just because of the fact you can use it in the grave. You know, you can special summon it to kind of block an attack, which is really cool. It does get banished, unfortunately, but the fact that it's like a light, the fact that it's kind of got a lot of different kind of uses in certain decks. I've seen a lot of people using it in Light Swans, for example, and just teching it in, and the card is quite good, to be honest. It doesn't need Jeff Jones to hype it up, because the card is quite decent. That is why it is at number 9, but, you know, the card is cool, it's cool artwork, cool little quiff, and that's Rainbow Kuriboh.
Number 8, Battle Fader. Battle Fader's effect being one that negates battle phases, which is pretty damn awesome if they attack during a direct attack. It's become one of the main deck hand traps of choice for Monarchs, stall decks, and other annoying decks, except for Monarchs, because Monarchs aren't that annoying. The fact that Battle Fader is allowed to not only end the battle phase, but it's also able to be used as tribute fodder, or rank 1 material if that's how you flow, puts Battle Fader at a justifiable rank 8 spot.
Swift Scarecrow is coming in at number 7. Scarecrow is such an amazing card. One of the best things that I like about this card is the fact that you can just discard it, whatever. The card is just so good, it blocks your opponent from doing anything. It gets around those pesky traps that stop you from special summoning, or those monsters that stop you from special summoning. Literally pushes your opponent's shit back in and says, hold on a second, you ain't doing fuck all to me this turn. So you can then next turn push their shit further in and absolutely fuck them up. Swift Scarecrow is a great card for any deck that needs a bit of defense. The fact that it came out in super rare most recently, it looks brilliant. So that is Swift Scarecrow.
Godia, originally being released as a Shonen Jump promo in the Shonen Jump magazine, has been a card that has been played for the longest time since its release. Still currently semi-limited, the power of this card is pretty much non-matched, being able to drop up to 4,000 beat sticks just on the field, just slamming it on the table. Even though it's been losing relevancy in the past few formats, be it because of Ophion had recently killed the card's playability, Godia is still a threat to be reckoned with. Also, with the introduction of XYZs after this card was released, you're now able to manipulate levels to be able to overlay into other ranks with this card, just by simply selecting a rank in your graveyard. Most commonly being playable in Chaos Sworns or Chaos Dragons, you're able to drop this card along with a Light Pulsar on the field, copy a Light Pulsar in graveyard, go into Gauntlet Launcher, or Photon Strike Bounder if that's how you bounce. Now being extremely accessible in a structure deck, the Dark World structure deck is a common, you can now play this card as ever you want, and you can witness the power of Godia for yourself. That's why this card is, to me, justifiable at a rank 6 position.
DD Crow is in at number 5. DD Crow is one of those cards that literally tells your opponent to fuck off. Being able to banish that card that your opponent targets in their graveyard, or just shimmy it out of the way, out to that banish zone, makes it a great addition in at number 5, smack in the middle of the table. It's so satisfying when your opponent normal summons that Dark World card, and you can just DD Crow and banish their only grapher, and they've sat there and they've wasted a card because they thought they were going to just get it back for the plus and then carry on. Where you just say, hold on, DD Crow grapher of the Dark World? Ew.
Number 4, Gores. Damn, I'm getting all the battle traps, aren't I? Just the thought of your opponent having Gores, it makes people cringe. Now, the reason this card is at a number 4 position is because of its play way back when. When Gores was at 3, Gores was a constant worry for your opponent. You could not attack safely for game until you had an out to Gores. If you had this huge ass field and your opponent had one card in hand, you would feel threatened to attack with any of those things, because that one card may very well be Gores. Being able to completely mindfuck your opponent throughout the game by just holding one card in your hand, regardless if it's Gores or not, makes Gores justifiable at 4. Even with Gores declining from the step ladder of its limiting, like it went from 3 to 2 to 1, I believe, Gores still was a prevalent problem. And just because people were so adapted to Gores of being 3 they played back then, they would still feel Gores, even if it's at 1. Currently not being played as much, not a big deal, it's because most decks these days play heavy back row. However, currently at 1, if the deck can play Gores, people are going to worry about Gores. It's because it's just that big of a power card, and it's just that big of a game changer if you drop it. Those crazy people in the OCG be playing 2 Gores. That shit fucking insane. Gores is like the fucking monster under your bed you fear every night. And now there's 2 monsters under your bed because they got it at 2 in the OCG. That's why Gores is at number 4.
In at number 3 is Maxie, one of our favourite and all-time hyped hand traps, and rightfully so. Maxie is one of the greatest deterrents against special summoning, if not the best. Because you can let your opponent do their play, and as soon as they start special summon, just go, discard? They have to completely change their battle plan, because they either take on the Maxie challenge, and that doesn't really work for a lot of people, it's proven, or they have to literally stop what they are doing mid-combo, basically when they start doing their combo, and just sit there with monsters that they probably didn't want there. So it puts them in a very awkward situation, because what they'll most likely do is special summon 1 or maybe 2 extra monsters just to go into something that can kind of protect themselves, and already you'll have gone plus from what they're just doing. So the card is amazing. It's one of the best hand traps in the game. It really deters people from doing any sort of special summon or combos, or just trying to get off the ground. Most notably, and one of the best ones to use it against, is Heretics. When they special summon that Tefnuit or normal summon that Nebthet, they tribute to special summon that Su, you can happily drop that Maxie, and you're already going to level out, because that What-tail Dragon or Labradorite Dragon is coming out regardless. So you're going to at least equal, and if they want to leave a 0/0 monster on the field, you're happy with that. So that's why it's at number 3.
Oh, Veila. It's not an argument that Veila is normally one of the most looked after hand traps of all time. Originally being released as an Ultra/Ulti up in Drev, this card's value has maintained a high state through various reprints. Doesn't matter, Ultras, Ultis, Golds, Rares, this thing still manages to hold around a $10 value. And it's definitely one of the most common hand traps people throw in their deck if they're picking hand traps. Hey yo dog, what hand traps you running in that Lightsworn deck of yours? I'm running Veila, Maxie. Veila just seems to fit in everything. And especially in Chaos decks because it's a light. If you can think of a giant boss monster with a badass effect, Veila can stop it. You got Exciton Knight? I got Veila. What you gonna do? What, you got Black Rose Dragon? I got Effect Veila. What you gonna do? Effect Veila being one of the most commonly used hand traps, and also one of the most beloved hand traps of all time, puts it justifiable at a number 2 position, but not number 1 position. Also, quick mention, if you got Ultimate Veilers, $40+, you know, you can always send them to me for free. I'm not complaining.
And finally, the number 1 slot goes to, drumroll please, Honest. Some of you might not agree with that, but let's not forget, if you played in that format where Honest was at 3, that card was the fucking balls. The card is just amazing. It instilled fear into anyone who attacked a light monster. You could be sat there with the weakest light monster out against one of the best monsters in the game. If they're going to attack, you can just be like, Ernest, and they will cry. There is nothing you can do about Honest. Honest just catches people off guard so much, and it literally breaks people's hearts when they drop that Honest. Honest is still in the game, as we all know, but it is at 1. But dropping that Honest now makes it even more sacky than before, because before it was at 3, and you just had to cry every time you went through those Honests just to try and push for game. But now it's at 1, and it'll catch you out even more and break your heart even more if you run into it without any protection.
Allow me to give a huge thank you to Elinthio for letting me post this dual collab with him. It took a lot of effort to do. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, like it, however you want to express that you enjoyed the video.
So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Special thank you to Nyhmnim for doing the collab with me. I hope you did enjoy it. Go check out his channel. The link will be in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.
Thanks for watching, guys. Nyhmnim out.